Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I'm introducing my client Jordan. I've done some reels of his, but this is the first time I'm putting up his vlog. Jordan, we're running kind of a variation of conjugate to where we do heavy work on the classic lifts and then we do supplemental volume work. So it looks very similar to a max effort day, 4 days a week. And of course, it follows a scheme very similar to what Matt Winning has talked about in the past of using what he terms linear periodization on your classic lifts. So in this case, I'm sticking to those, and so we do 3, 2, 1. And these are done off of prescribed percentages and numbers that I give him. So in this case, he's not picking his lifts. He's not ramping up to a training max. I am giving him the weight for his squat, bench, and deadlift. Then the first week we run triples, and I've run a heavier number on the second day of the week than the first day, so that we do a heavy triple followed by a slightly heavier triple later in the week. Then the next week we go to a double followed by a slightly heavier double, and then week 3 we go to a single, a training max, and then we go to closer to a true max on the second one later in the week in 3-week waves. And then afterwards, we do supplemental work. So let me see if I've got his numbers handy that I can reference while we do this. But I believe we did 290 for that 3-rep bench. Then coming up, we'll do, I believe, 370 for the squat for a triple and 460 for the deadlift for a triple. Now, he's hit better squats, but his squat has regressed a little bit, so we're having to drop down to that, and I'm going to get his squat back up. His squat regressed due to some other training a while back, and I'm going to fix that and get it back to where it was and then bring it up. But supplemental work is all kept very, very simple. He has access to a very basic strength and conditioning gym here, so we keep it that way, other than he does have some nice lower body equipment, which I think everyone will appreciate. Everyone's looking at this basic stuff here on the upper day, then we get to the lower and they're like, oh, he's got some good stuff. So what are we doing? We do pause benching, and we do dumbbell benching. Why? What's up with that? Because his pecs are a weak link in his bench right now. I want to bring up his chest, so we do pause benching followed by dumbbell work. Very, very, very effective combination there. In fact, I almost feel like I should consider doing that myself right now. Yeah. Then he does barbell rows, upright rows, and skull crushers. Now, we're noticing in this first week, though, he is filling his elbows a little bit, so we may need to rotate over to band press downs in place of these for just a little bit. Right? Because he is noticing the elbows slightly. They feel a little funny, so it's like, okay. And it's kind of the thing I point out with skull crushers. I'm a big fan of this exercise, but they're not always good on your elbows. If you do not have really strong elbow tendons, they can become problematic pretty quickly, which is unfortunate because as a tricep exercise, they're almost second to none. Like if you want something that would just absolutely build your entire tricep top to bottom, all 3 heads, they are a phenomenal exercise. Really one of the best, literally. If not the best, easily top 3. It could be a recovery issue. All right, squatting. So we get over to the day 2. He does some squatting here. Heavy triple, 370. He kind of does his little dance. He's got his own little ritual there he likes to do, kind of got in his zone. But watch this squatting. Look how deep that is. Right? And he's power squatting too. This guy comes in and power squats with that sort of depth. Look at that wide stance. Okay? And that was easy. He's good to go. Look, he's not even breathing heavy. The deadlift was a little tougher for him this day with the 460. Interestingly enough, the 475, 5 pounds heavier later in the week, looks cleaner than this. Okay? But we've got some weaknesses here, and we know where his weakness is. When I test these other lifts, his reverse hypers are very, very, very weak. And we know he needs more hamstring in general. Hamstring, low back. These are his limits. He only recently crested a 500 deadlift. right? He's been a much better squatter and bencher than he has deadlifter. All right, supplemental work. We keep this real simple. We just pulled a heavy squat and a heavy, pulled a heavy deadlift and a heavy squat. What do we really need? Well, let's get down to the basics. All right, squat accessory, leg press, single leg. Again, I've stated many times why I like single leg, because of the amount of weight we put on there. You take these 45-degree slides like this. I like 45-degree leg presses. Problem is they turn into an ego lift real quickly to where you're loading hundreds and hundreds, of pounds of plates, if not over 1,000. In fact, it's been my experience having used these that anyone who squats over 500 pounds, the leg press with both legs starts turning into a joke. Like the amount of weight that you have to load onto one of these to actually reach true fatigue, even for 10 and 20 rep sets, gets ludicrous. I mean, generally well over 1,000 pounds. People say, well, that's crazy. It's like, really, till you start seeing women repping 1,000 pounds on one, and then you realize, oh, he's serious. So grown men squatting 500 plus? Yeah. We eliminate that by going to single leg. Okay? We eliminate it. But we got a 45-degree leg press. What else we got here? Glute ham raise. We have a glute ham raise, and we have a reverse hyperextension. All right. These are the tools. These are the tools of the trade. If I could have my way, I love the belt squat, but I'll take a 45-degree leg press. If I don't have a belt squat, I can still get somebody crazy elite with that leg press. Strongest squatter I've ever had did not have a belt squat, but he had a leg press. 198 guy squatting over 600 without sleeves. No sleeves, no wraps. We did a lot of leg pressing. Then we have a reverse hyperextension here. All right, it's not very strong on this though, which again tells us a lot. Plus, again, side view, look at the hamstrings. His quads are bigger than his hamstrings. We know where he's weakest. We know how to fix it. All right, the rest of the week, I'm not going to put the supplemental lifts because I try to keep these under 10 minutes if possible. So I just included the heavy triples. But we have some nice clean work here. Good pauses. He tries to do everything meet legal because he power lifts, and so his goal here is to make every rep on his big three pass in a competition. Right? Every single rep he does in training, that's his goal. I like that as a coach. I like that a lot. It's exactly what he's doing here. Those benches in the past, same thing with these squats. All these squat reps. All these squat reps. They're clean. They're deep. All right? This is what we want to see. That's what we want to see. Plus, think in terms of just development and strength. Look at that. That's what you want. That's what we want to see. Some quality squatting. There's nothing negative you can say about that. Other than, well, I'd like him to be stronger, but he is going to get stronger. These deadlifts, here we go. These were actually better than the first ones, even though it's a little heavier. But yeah, so here you guys go. This is Jordan, and we will hopefully be doing this as a very long-term endeavor. So I'll keep these vlogs coming. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.